Welcome, everybody. Oh, good. We still have people jumping in. I love it. Welcome, welcome. I am Rachel Hansen, and tonight I'm really excited because we have my dear friend Carolyn Kraham here, and she is amazing. We were just talking about how she was one of the 4 people that got to test out all the new products that are coming out in like 2 weeks. Yay! So very exciting. And Carolyn and I have known each other for a few years, and I always enjoy chatting with her and learning from her. So a little bit about her. She has been in the business since 2003. That's the year I graduated high school. Isn't that fun?
Thank you for that. Thank you very much for that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so Rachel and I aren't really friends anymore. No, that friendship just ended.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh,
You are dead to me.
Oh, whatever. But we're both boy moms. We both have 2 boys, so she understands my life. And
I'm a boy mom too. I get it.
Right. Well,
Takes a special breed.
Her boys are 18 and 22. Can you even imagine that? Look at her.
No, she doesn't look at it.
Yeah. Well,
oh my gosh.
This is why you don't have babies in high school.
All right, mine are 37 and 35. So.
Oh, that's crazy.
I can tell you.
So Carolyn is also brand new leader of an executive team they promoted very recently. So
congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love my team. I'm so proud of them.
I think you and Claire were promoting the same months. Because wasn't it
I think so, yeah.
I think you and
we went official August 1st.
Yeah. I think you and I had a chat in July, and I was like, just do it.
So, I was like, I don't know if we're going to make it.
You're going to make it. So something super duper cool about Carolyn, she actually has 2 psychology degrees. And so tonight we are learning the psychology of host coaching. Yeah, right? Because everyone is a different breed of person to work with, right? Like every single person we try to work with is a special case. And so I'm really excited because host coaching is Carolyn's passion. She's really, really great at it. And I know we've got some great systems in our team too, but I'm excited to learn something more. And I love having like the psychology behind it, especially when you're working with different personalities, different objections, different whatever the case may be. So Carolyn, super, super excited. And if that's not enough to get you excited, this girl also has earned excellence every year since 2006. And she's traveled on every single incentive trip since 2004. So she knows what she's doing. So
I've earned the incentive trips. I haven't always traveled on them. Sometimes I've just taken the money and run.
That's true. Sorry, but you've still earned them all. So yes, we took the money this year.
And I just found out last week that I earned Prague also, the executive trip. That I had no idea that was
now that you could be earning.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Of course, now that Europe isn't allowing us in.
Right. Ugh. Yeah, and they already changed it once, but it was going to be the Alaskan cruise.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully, I know they'll do something fantastic for you. So.
Oh, they always do. So.
Anyway, I am going to hand it over to Carolyn, let her take it away and share all of her amazing knowledge with us. So thank you for being here tonight, my friend.
Thank you for having me, and thank you all for coming tonight. If you guys would do me a favor, those of you who have your screens on, and if you don't have your screen on, if you just pop it on for just a quick second or answer in the chat, how long have you been in business? Just hold up your fingers if you can do it with fingers, or drop it in the chat.
All right, let's see what we have in the chat.
5 months.
A month, 3 months, 4 months. Look at this. 10 years. About 3 months, 3 months. Yeah, so we've got a lot of newbies here. 4 years. We got some 4 years. We got some 10 years, some 2 years. And a lot of people that are in their first 3 months or less. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Love it.
I love working with new people because it's easier to start with good habits than it is to start off on the wrong foot and then have to undo. And I think that goes for everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little heads up, I do have an outline, but Rachel will tell you I am all over the place. I'm like a squirrel on crack. So
was I any better? No.
I think this is why we get along. So if I'm jumping all over the place and you want to rein me back in, it's all good. Just like, okay, back it up, Care, and I'm good. I also talk very fast. So if I'm talking too fast for you, tell me. Just, drop it in the chat or shut out. Yo, slow it down. So I can't really pinpoint when I became so passionate about host coaching. I think it was just because of my background in psychology, because I am fascinated by the human psyche and what makes people tick. It's just ingrained in me to figure people out so that I can work best with them. My father likes to throw it in my face, and liked in the past to throw it in my face. Oh, I paid all this money for your degrees, all this, you graduated debt free and you're hawking kitchenwares. Well, let me tell you, pleasure it was to call daddy and say, hey, Pop, I'm now the leader of an executive team. Can we talk about those dollars you spent on my degrees? Because let me tell you something, you guys, if you ever have the opportunity to take a psychology class, take it, because it will help you at home. It will help you in your friendships. It will help you in business. Psychology is the foundation for interpersonal skills, and interpersonal skills is the foundation for a successful business, because it helps you to build relationships, and everything about the Pampered Chef business is on the foundation of relationships. And sometimes those relationships will change. You know, you'll meet somebody, they'll be your customer, and then they're going to morph into a host, and that's a different relationship. Then they might join your team, and that becomes a completely different relationship. And somewhere in the middle there, they may become your friend. They may become someone that you socialize with. And then you have to morph into, okay, well, am I wearing my leader hat right now, or am I wearing my friendship hat? Am I wearing my consultant hat, or am I wearing my friend hat? And so psychology plays a role in all of that. So I'm going to teach you guys my host coaching system, what I do, and not just what I do, but I'm really big on explaining the why behind it. And my team will tell you, if you scan through our team page, you search for the most used word by Carolyn, it's going to be why. Why? What? Dorinda's, she already knows this. Every time we talk about, yeah, why? What? Why? If you tell somebody what to do, and this, being a consultant with your hosts, your customers, and your team members is no different than parenting. You can tell someone what to do, they may or may not do it. You can tell someone what to do, and the reason you are asking them to do it, much better chance they're going to do it if they understand why. So I'm going to teach you guys my system for host coaching, in addition to why I have each of these steps in place. So for starters, we're going to book the party. Rachel is going to mention something in the party that's going to be a red flag to me, and it's going to make me go, potential host. And I'm going to take her aside in a private message, and we're going to work out that booking. And it's going to be, okay, Rachel, super. So I have party dates starting the 26th or the 19th, which is better for you. I'm not saying, do you want to have a party? I'm just assuming she wants to have a party. And I'm not saying to her, well, when is good for you? Because it's my business, not hers. I'm taking control of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any of you who have children, I want you to test this. I'm talking little kids. I want you to test this on them. Say to them, hey, little Johnny, what would you like for dinner tonight? Hot dog or hamburger? And make sure it's two of his favorite things. Which candy would you like? Reese's or Snickers? Which vegetable are you going to have with your dinner? Green beans or asparagus? Don't pick things that your child hates and loves. Pick only two things that they love. And I promise you that they are always going to choose the last thing you offered. That's just how the human psyche works. So if you want to book shows close in, which we all want to do, the sooner the party, the sooner you're going to get paid, the sooner you're going to get bookings for further parties, then you want to offer them the two dates that you have that are closest. But you want to offer them to them the faraway date first and the near date last. Because why? They're going to pick the last thing that they heard. So I have Friday or Thursday. I have the 20th or the 15th. They're simply going to pick the last thing that they heard, unless it doesn't work on their calendar for some reason. But 9 out of 10 times, they're going to pick the sooner date. And when I first started doing virtuals, I was very hesitant to offer next week, because I thought, oh, they're going to be like, no, it's too soon. But I started trying it. So today is what? Today is the 16th. So I could start parties. I start my parties on Wednesday. So I could start the 19th or the 26th. So I would say, all right, Jackie, I have openings available for you. We can start either on the 26th or the 19th. And Jackie's going to say the 19th, unless she has a conflict. 9 out of 10 times, she's going to pick the closer in date. My next thing I'm going to say to her is, now if we're just messaging back and forth, I will quick in another screen, go right onto Consultant's Corner, set up that party, and shoot that email, the very first, the pre-party email under host coaching, as we're messaging, setting up a date. So she's automatically going to get an email that says something about, thank you for booking. And that email is pre-filled to say, I'd love to set up a time to talk with you to discuss your wish list and yada, yada, yada. As I'm shooting that to her, I'm saying to her in the same message, when is a good time for us to have a quick 5 to 10 minute phone conversation? Now, how many of you are doing phone host coaching for virtual parties? Let's see, 4 hands up. That's pretty impressive. Good job, Rachel. You're teaching them right. Because most virtual consultants that I talk to are like, oh no, I do everything via Messenger. I don't call people on the phone. Let me tell you something, my friends, that individual voice to voice, that connection, now more than ever. And truth be told, it is never a 5 to 10 minute conversation, because when they get on the phone, people are lonely right now. They're seeing the same 5 faces day in and day out. They're not going places. They're seeing their immediate family and whoever's in their tight little circle. Think about it. People aren't doing their 5 or 6 errands per day. People who are going into the office, there's a much smaller population at the office these days. People are lonely. So you get them on the phone. And what I'm finding is those 5 to 10 minute conversations are turning into 15 to 30. Mm-hmm. And nobody's unhappy about that. But by the end of it, we're buddies. We're besties. I start the conversation with, thank you so much for booking with me. I'm really excited to help you get everything on your wish list. What are some of the big things that you want? I'm going to come back to that in a few minutes. Wish list. And then we get into, so what led you to Pampered Chef? I see you were a guest at Rachel's party, but how do you know Rachel? And was this your first Pampered Chef party? So I want to get a feel for how much Pampered Chef experience they have. And in doing so, I end up finding out that they have 2 kids, they have a husband, they have a pet snake, they like to go to the beach, they are on the keto diet, they paint their toenails purple. Like I get to know them, and I let them get to know me. There's a level of lack of anonymity. You have to be transparent. You have to let people get to know you. So, we build that rapport, because they're more apt to be committed to the party if they feel a connection to me. You can't get that connection via messaging. You just can't. It's that voice-to-voice conversation. There are times if I happen to be sitting at the screen, and typically if I know they're like a teacher or somebody who I kind of get a feel that they know their way around Zoom, I'll say, hey, do you want to hop on a quick Zoom call? Do you have 5-10 minutes for a quick Zoom? I'm sitting here anyway. And then I'll say, listen, I'm in quarantine mode today. I haven't showered today, so please don't judge. And I will get on that Zoom in my pajamas with my hair in a mom bun, or, 3 days unshowered, because you know what? I'm real. Let them see that. We are real. We're not perfect. I can see 2 of my team members on this call, and I think you've both seen me in pajama mode, right? You guys are just lucky that I showered today, because it doesn't happen often. It's only because I was leaving the house. But, it's important for our hosts and our guests to just get to know us. So when I get them on the call, after we've gotten to know each other a little bit, I want to know what is on their wish list. What is it you really want? If you had a $300 Pampered Chef shopping spree, tell me some of the things you're going to get. And I write those things down. I have a little notebook that says, Rachel Hansen, she wants a food chopper, she wants a mix and chop, she wants a can opener, she wants the air fryer and the blender. And I have them really go down that wish list, the big things, the little things. And I'll do a quick calculation in my head. Okay, that's like, $400 worth of stuff. And I'll say, you need a $1,400 show. If you want to do all of that stuff for $5.25 plus tax, and then I always throw in there, and you're only paying tax on what you're spending. So if you're not paying for any of it, you're just spending $525, you're only paying tax on that $525. Because I learned over the years that a lot of other direct sales companies, they charge you tax on the things they're giving you for free. That stinks. So I like to point out to them that our $525 plus tax is literally $525 plus tax. So if you want to get all of that stuff for free, we need sales of X amount. In order to have sales of X amount, we need this many orders. And I'm running numbers. I'm terrible with math. So I've got a little calculator up on my screen running the numbers. So I can tell them, if you have a wish list of $215, we need $1,000 in guest sales to do that. With an average guest order of about $75, and actually with virtuals it's more like $50 to $75, we want at least 15 people in that party. In order to get 15 shoppers, 15 orders. In order to get 15 orders, we need at least 50 guests in the party. In order to get 50 guests in the party, we need to invite at least 150. So I've explained to them why they need to invite 150. If you just tell them they need to invite 150, they're like, screw that. Not happening. That's overwhelming. I mean, think about it. If I said to you, Beth, you have to invite 150 of your closest friends, what would you say to me? Yeah. Right? Like, I don't know 150 people. And at some point during that conversation, I'll also say to them, and Jackie on one of our new consultant calls, because this is very similar to what I say with new consultants on their new consultant calls. And Jackie, I said this too, about how many Facebook friends have you got? I want to know right off the bat. Because let me tell you something, if I have a host who has 100 Facebook friends, that's when I'm going to start talking, hey, why don't we co-host this with your daughter or your sister? Because what I'm thinking is, you don't have enough friends to have a successful party. So let's get a buddy and do this together. So I have found out her wish list. Her wish list is what is going to cause her to have what we call buy-in to the party. She is now bought into having this party. She's committed because she wants that stuff. If you don't know what is on your host's wish list, you can't help them. You don't have a goal. And it's the same thing as a consultant. If you can't tell me as your leader how much you want to make per month, how am I supposed to guide you? What am I guiding you to? I don't know. Because success for me is a minimum of $6,000 per month income. I don't know if that's what success looks like to you. When I started my Pampered Chef business, success to me was a $350 a month paycheck. Everybody has different numbers. Sally Hostess may only want $50 worth of stuff. Jane Hostess may want $350 worth of stuff. Now, what do you do when you have a hostess who only wants $50 worth of stuff? Because that's telling you right there, for $50 worth of stuff, she only needs to have a party of $400. Do you really want a $400 party when you know you can have a $1,000 party for the same amount of effort? So what do you do then? When Sally only tells you she wants $50 worth of stuff, you don't say, well, I don't really want to book a party with you. You say, well, let's talk about how you cook at home. What are some things you make at home? Are you a baker? Are you somebody who likes to fry? Do you cook for large groups? Are you empty nesters? What are some things you've had in your kitchen for 40 years that you'd really like to replace with a new version? And start getting her thirsty for the other items that she didn't know she wanted or needed. Talk about some of your favorites. And then she's gonna be like, oh, wait a second, I do need that coating tray set. Oh, I really do want to close and cut. Add it to your list, girlfriend, and help her to build that wish list. So once you know her wish list, you now have her buy-in. You have her commitment. You have something that's going to motivate her to success. You have something so that on the days when she isn't posting in that party, you can be like, hey, Dorinda, if you really want that air fryer, we need to ramp up the interaction on this party. So let's get, more people into the party, or let's start posting some more. How about you tag these two that haven't participated? When you know what her wish list is, you can help her stay involved. Same thing with a team member. When you know your team member's motivation, hey, I know you really want to get a new swing set for the backyard. Keep them motivated. So the next thing I do once we're done with that phone call, on that phone call, we talk about her role. Rachel, your role as a host is simply to keep the conversation going. I don't care what the conversation is about. We need constant flow of conversation on that Facebook group. Why? Because if it slows down, Facebook is not going to let your guests see the posts. So I'm going to conversation eggs why I scrambled. You Pauline. Pauline's gonna go, well, I like mine fried. At which point you're not gonna say, oh, that's nice. You're gonna, oh, Pauline, you like your eggs fried? Do you like over medium or hard? Yeah. I, let's give her a minute to come back. I see Rachel's picture and she's recording it. Okay, we're back.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of making sure that you teach your hosts to keep that conversation going, no matter what. I teach my hosts to, every time they comment, they are to comment in the form of a question, tagging a guest. They're never to comment in the form of a sentence. Sentences close the conversation. We don't want closed conversations. We want conversations that just keep flowing. So let's see. I got away from the host. So, okay, so that stuff I go over. I'm still where I need to be. That stuff like we go over on the host coaching call. I tell her main job is to keep that conversation flowing. When it comes to inviting, my hosts go, 150 people, are you crazy? We talk about how many people they have on their Facebook. And then I point out to them, you know, most of the people are going to ignore the invitation. So you want to invite everyone. And then you know they're going to start going, oh, well, I don't want to invite Lynn because she just lost her job and, you know, she's quarantined and she's got no money. And I immediately say, before they can even bring that up, I brag the objection. Before they can give me their objection why they're not going to invite somebody, I tell them why to invite that person. And I say, when it comes to your friends who just lost their job, whose husbands just walked out on them, who just became widows, those are the people who are stuck at home alone during a quarantine, and they are depressed. They're at risk of going down a really dark road. And what can we do? We can give them a week's worth of distraction by inviting them to this party. Encourage them to come, because quite frankly, I don't care if Sally Sadness doesn't place an order, but if Sally Sadness can come to our party and enjoy herself for a week and be distracted from her depression for a week, then we've done our job. And if you've invited enough people, like I'm suggesting, there will be enough people to offset the fact that Sally Sadness did not place an order. So we've done our duty, we've done a good deed, and maybe Sally Sadness will even win the prize. And who knows, maybe she'll go, hey, I need some income while I look for a new job. Never know. Maybe she'll book the next party. Never know. If nothing else, if we can pull her out of the depression, let's do it. And what about Susie, who sat behind you in second grade and yanked on your ponytails? Invite her. Because what I have found in 90% of my virtual parties, it's Joey who used to trip you in the hallway in first grade who joins your Facebook party and places the $200 order. It's those people you would never think of who place the huge orders. And it's your BFF that you thought you could count on who comes to the party and doesn't buy a darn thing. So invite everybody you know from all walks of life. I teach my hosts to invite in multiple ways. I first have my hosts send out a private message to each person. Then the next day, I have my host use the invite button on the group. Later that second day, I have her send a follow-up message to each person. Hey there, just circling back to make sure you saw my message earlier about my party. We're having a really good time. Don't want you to miss out. It takes those 3 contacts to get people to finally join the events. Your hosts who are just trying one time, nobody's going to join. It takes those 3 contacts. And then at the end of the 3rd day, that's when I have her post on her wall. Hey, I'm having a Pampered Chef party for anybody who didn't see the message. So host coaching call is over. I've made a new BFF. We have bonded. We have gotten to know each other. She's committed to me. I am committed to her or him. Next, I send out the host packet. In my host packet, there's a catalog. There's a recruiting brochure. There is a personal handwritten thank you note. Handwritten thank you note. Not a text, not typed out, not an email. Handwritten. And here's what they say. Let me grab one. Here's what my handwritten thank you note says. It says, hi, Sally. Just a quick note to thank you for booking a virtual Pampered Chef party with me. In the age of technology, I want you to know there is a real person on the other side of the screen who truly appreciates your support and is thrilled to be partnering with you to help you earn all the items on your wish list. Are you getting the me's and the you's? I'm emphasizing these for a reason. Psychology. Next paragraph. So the first paragraph is you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me. The next paragraph. During the week of your party, it is absolutely critical that you check into the party group several times each day to interact with your guests. Tag them, comment, ask them questions, and engage them in conversation. Why? Got to answer why. I'm telling her what to do, but she wants to know why. So the next sentence, your level of interaction and engagement will determine your guests' level of interest and participation. Now, I do block parties. I can have 4 people in my block party. 3 of the hosts can have $1,000 shows and 1 will have a $50 show. Whose fault do you think that is? The $50 host who didn't do her job. Because I did the same performance for all 4 hosts. 3 of them had great outcomes, 1 didn't. That's not on me. So I'm letting, in paragraph 2, I'm letting her know what I expect of her, what I'm asking of her and why. And in paragraph 3, it's the thank you and a little bit of Jewish guilt. While my job is a lot of fun, it is my only means of income. That being said, I want you to know how grateful I am that you chose me as your Pampered Chef consultant and how much I appreciate your commitment to the success of our online party. Warmly, Carolyn. So, and this is hello psychology. First paragraph. You and me, there's a lot of you and me, and we are partnering together, and we are a team, and I'm doing this for you, and you're doing this with me, and together we're going to do this. Second paragraph, here's what I expect of you and why. Third paragraph, how grateful I am for your commitment. So that goes into an envelope with a business card. I use business card magnets. I get them from Vistaprint pretty cheap. That little envelope goes inside the recruiting brochure. On top of the recruiting brochure goes a says, curious about the business? Let's talk. Not your thing? That's okay. Please share this pamphlet with someone who might be interested. Thanks, Carolyn. I don't want her throwing away that recruiting brochure. I want her to pass it on to somebody else. If you're wondering how I was able to pull out that handwritten, Dorinda, it is all on our team page. And the 3 requests for the, which 3 requests for the host?
That was
you were saying right before you tell them to post on their wall, there was 3 things you asked them to.
Okay.
Yep, you private message them the first day.
Private message their guests first.
Yep.
Then use the invite button from the group. Then do a circling back private message. Hey, Dorinda, just circling back to make sure you saw my message from earlier. I know life gets crazy and sometimes we look at messages while we're at stoplights and forget about them. Want to make sure you don't miss out on this party because we're having a really good time and it wouldn't be the same without you. And then the party link. That's the 3rd one. And then I have them post on their wall. The thank you card, that's on our team page, and Rachel, you'll get a copy of that too. So if you're wondering how I was just able to grab that thank you card and how I was able to grab that sticky note, in the beginning of the quarantine, I would sit down and handwrite each one of those as I was putting together a host packet. And good Lord, it took me all bleeping day to put together a host packet because I'd write the first 2 sentences and I'd get distracted. And I'd write the next sentence and get distracted. it was just too much. And I literally, no joke, I called my mother in tears. I said, I can't handle this. I'm losing my mind. I was doing 10 shows a week. I was having to put together 10 host packets a week. I was like, Mama, I'm going to lose it. I'm like, seriously, order me a straight jacket and a padded room. I'm done. And my mom was like, shh, please, I'll go to Dollar Tree. I'm on this. Give me one copy. So I gave my mom one copy of the card. She went to Dollar Tree. 3 days later, I had over 100 copies of it. My mother just sat there and churned them out. So if you have a teenager, if you have a bored senior citizen, if you have a local college kid who, you know, my mom is always joking. She's like, listen, I'll do these for your team. I'll charge them, you know, 10 cents a card or whatever. But, you know, it literally takes my mom seconds. So I have, I probably have about 300 already written now, all handwritten. So I just slap them all together. While you're watching Netflix, handwrite them. When you're bored, can't sleep, handwrite them. Or find a teenager, a college kid, or a senior citizen who's bored to tears and needs something to do. So that goes inside the catalog. So I get the catalog, the recruiting brochure, the thank you card, business card, all goes inside here. And then I do the, where are they? Hang on, let me grab one up here. The party planning flyer. And these you can get on supply order. They just come right off of supply order. And they get this, I fill this out. I use a highlighter to, you know, brighten up some of the stuff. And away we go. That goes, that mails out, it costs me $2 per. I can afford $2. And I'll say to my host on the coaching call, I'll say, you know, Rachel, I'm kind of old fashioned and I really like to have a paper catalog in my hands. I love being able to turn the pages and dog ear some pages and circle things. Shopping online is all well and good, but it's so much more fun when you have a catalog. And let me tell you something, if you're not giving your hosts catalogs, you're losing sales. They'll lay in bed at night with a glass of wine, a Sharpie, and their catalog, and they'll start making wish lists like you wouldn't believe. It's not the same doing that online. It's just not. So I mail every host a catalog and I let them know it's coming. Let's see. I talked about how I teach the host to comment always in the form of a question, always tagging a few guests. And you can tell this to your hosts until they're blue in the face. You have to remind them a lot. I have like the hostess with the mostest going on right now. One of my hosts, she is just queen hostess. However, she stopped asking questions. She started going, oh, my favorite thing to barbecue is steak. Oh, I really like the strawberry broccoli salad. And I had to inbox her, hey, Chrissy, don't forget, all of your comments need to be in the form of a question, tagging a guest. Because if you don't tag a guest, I'm the only one who gets a notification about that comment. Are you guys aware of that? Unless your host tags a guest, you are the only person being notified of it. I request for every guest to set their notifications on to all posts for the group. Out of 50 guests, about 4 do it. I can offer them blocks of gold. Only 4 of them are going to do it. For that reason, the host has to be asking questions and tagging. I like steak on the grill. What about you, Lynn? Question mark. When Beth says she likes fish on the grill. What kind of fish do you like on the grill, Beth? Question mark. Jackie, don't you do flounder? Question mark. To keep those conversations going, to keep the back and forth. Think about ping pong. Think about tennis. You just want that constant back and forth interaction. Why? Because that's how we get around the Facebook algorithms. It's all about tricking the Facebook algorithms. You want tons of interaction in the first 24 to 48 hours of the party to trigger the algorithm to open up that party for people. If by the second day of the party you haven't had interaction, it's going to require CPR. It's a lot easier to give birth than to raise the dead. So you have got to get your hosts in on the first day or 2 of the party. If they're not, that's when I will reach out to my host and say, is now just not a good week for you? Because it seems like you're having a really hard time engaging in the party and I don't want this to be unsuccessful for you. Do you want to postpone it till Thursday or do you want to try again next week? Because it's just not worth your time or theirs. And a way that I put that to my guests, let's say, you know, Jackie is not participating at all. We're on like day 3 and I can see how many people are seeing each post. And if I've got 24 hours worth of posts with 0 comments, party's over. It's over. And I'll call Jackie and I'll say, hey, Jackie, is everything okay? She's like, oh yeah, I'm just really busy with the kids. I'll be like, listen, because you're throwing a cyber party in your cyber living room right now, but you've locked yourself in the cyber basement. And because of that, your cyber guests have cyber left. Facebook is not letting your friends see anything because there's no interaction happening. Without interaction, it's not that your friends are not interested. They're simply not seeing anything. They're not getting notifications. If you're not going to get your friends involved, don't invite them over for a party. Another big one, my hosts, every once in a while I have one of these hosts who'll do this. I'll post the, hey, language, I'm recording this. Thank you. Sorry. I'll have a post about the ice cream maker. And Sally hostess will get really excited and she'll do this. She'll start tagging people. Pauline, Kara, Lynn, Beth, Jackie, Dorinda, Rachel, Amanda, Sarah, Kelsey. And that's when I reach out to my host and I say, tagging everybody just by saying name after name after name, that's the equivalent of you walking around a party in your living room and poking each person but saying nothing. It's obnoxious, it's rude, it's annoying. Stop it. If you want to tell Pauline and Lynn and Beth and Jackie and Rachel, if you want to tell them about the ice cream maker, then say, Pauline, check out this ice cream maker. I know you like Rocky Road from Breyers. I'll bet you could make it a lot cheaper in this ice cream maker. Lynn, what topping do you like on your ice cream? Hey, Beth, this makes the best vanilla ice cream. Jackie, imagine your Moose Tracks ice cream made at home. Would you walk around your living room and go poke, 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 poke? You would pull people into conversations, and that's what you want your hosts to do. So that's the gist of what I do. I do want to go off on a little spin, something that I picked up on today that I learned from one of my newest team members who is here today. I coach my hosts over the phone. Jackie, do you mind if I call you out? Since I've just called you out, so now you can't really say no. Sorry. So I was talking to Jackie. I'm in one of her shows observing and giving her some tips, and she really needed to get her host involved. And she was just telling him everything I was telling her to tell him, and it just wasn't happening. And suddenly it occurred to her, he must not be understanding this. It must not be clicking. Let me get him on a quick Zoom and show him. If you can get your host on a Zoom, a phone call is super personal. If you can get them on a Zoom, oh my God. They can see you, they can hear you, you can see their expressions, you can hear them, there's body language. That's even more of a bond. So I expect a big change in Jackie's party now that she took the host coaching up one more level. I did that once with a host last month. She didn't understand how to tag, and I couldn't get through. I'm like, Susie, tag people, tag people. She's like, huh? I didn't realize she didn't understand. And finally she said to me, I don't know what you mean by tagging people. And I said, here's my Zoom link, meet me on Zoom. And I screen shared with her and I showed her. She ended up with a successful party. She wouldn't have had that if I hadn't taken that extra moment to Zoom with her. So we build relationships. We talk a lot about the me, you. We build a rapport. We build a bond. We give them a reason to feel committed to working with us. It is so much about the relationship, so much more than just about the system. Because any system that you guys have, any system you've been taught, if you just add the relationship factor to it, any system is going to succeed. Because somebody who feels connected to you will do so much more with you and for you, especially if you explain to them why. And you need to know why and what is driving them. So that when your host starts flaking, you can be like, hey, you know, you're $200 in sales away from getting enough to get that blah-de-blah that you wanted, to keep them motivated and to keep them engaged. So I'm sorry I was all over the place. I'm looking at my notes. I'm thinking, yeah, I jumped all over to my notes. And I was like, I went from here to here to here to there to the back. So anybody have any questions?
So Carolyn, one of the other things I do almost everything you're doing, and it's been very successful. So
and you're new at this. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. But the one thing that I also do is in the host, or before the party, in the pre-package from the email, I send them 2 emails. one email is one they can email out to their friends. I literally have written the whole thing. And so I send them their host packet with emails with all the information, but then I say, and there's another email coming, copy and paste it. Change a couple words in there if it doesn't sound like you. Your name's already at the bottom. Go ahead and send that out too. And that has actually been really successful. So
providing them with the words to say.
right.
So I do that via private message.
Okay.
The day I open up the party and I invite the host, I send her a series of messages. The first one says, hey, are you ready? Your party's starting. Here's the link to your group. Join it, and then send. Remember, I said I have her send messages first. I give her a clip to copy and paste the message to send everyone.
Yeah,
but
I've
yes,
been writing.
giving your host the words to say is critical. If you count on your host to come up with the words on her own, Lord help you.
I know.
Because she's going to send out, exactly what she's going to send. She's going to send, hey, I just need some people to join my party, and there's no obligation to shop. So just, I just need warm bodies in the seats. So,
right.
Join. You can always turn off the notifications. And I know this because the party that I just hosted, she didn't give me the words to say, and guess what I sent out? Rachel, you were a recipient of one of those. Just join the party, please. I need people.
I saw it. I joined the party.
I know. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I haven't looked at it.
I don't have a wish list. I don't blame you. I don't have a wish list for that party because she hasn't even sent me a catalog. I don't even know what the products are.
Right. I have the same thing happening with another party that they asked to hold, and I just
and totally aside, I recommend hosting with another company once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll always remember what it's like to be on the host side.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because I'm shining a light on all the things she isn't doing, and that's reminding me of things I need to be more focused on doing.
Right.
I have no goal for this party that Rachel has just been invited to. I have no number goal. I don't have a dollar goal because or how many orders I need.
Right.
Because I don't even know the prices of the products. I don't even know what the products are.
Mm-hmm.
I know one line, eyelashes, but apparently they have a whole other stuff that I don't know about because she hasn't told me.
Wow. Okay, good. I like the idea of being a host at another party because I'll tell you, I've found out a lot from the one I'm hosting. So.
Yeah.
I always recommend that to people too. The other thing that's always a big reminder for me when I host is, back when we used to be together in person with people,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things, when we do in-person parties, we always talk about, this is what the host will get for free and half price and whatever. But they're not listening. The host is not listening because the host is busy with their guests. And I always forget that. Later they come back and say, oh, well, I didn't know I got half price items. And I'm like, I told you 8 times. But then being the host of a party, you come back later and you're like, wait, what do I get? I don't remember her saying that because I was busy chatting,
Right.
And along the lines of that, my final closure to the host coaching is when the party is over, I go back into Consultant's Corner. I go into her party page and I click on, I think it's the host coaching tab. And I go back down to that. Remember that email that we sent out at the beginning? You can toggle the subject line for that and turn it into your after party email. And that calculates the amount that she earned against the amount that she spent and tells her the amount that she saved. So it'll say, and it has all the wording, and it'll say, thank you for hosting. Because you hosted, you got $1,012 worth of stuff for $110. That's a $900 and blah blah savings. And when they see that, and I will clip that and post it to the party page when the party is closed, and I'll say, thank you to all of Beth's friends for participating in this event. We had a great time. No pants required. Everybody got to show up when they wanted to. And because of this, Beth got $1,012 worth of stuff for $107. She saved $900 and blah, blah, dollars. Who's going to host the next party? And whenever I do that, it's like all of a sudden you get more bookings.
Right. It's a good idea. I didn't know that it was even in there.
Great idea.
It used to be there back in the day of Pampered Partner. Rachel, were you around for Pampered Partner? Or was that before your time?
No, I started right at right when they were starting the new website. I was with
Switch
that.
over.
I was right in that.
So Pampered Partner was our
Yeah.
old order inputting program.
Yeah.
And when we switched over to web-based, we lost that feature for quite some time, and they just brought it back last year, and I jumped for joy.
I was in that odd moment where they put all the new consultants coming in were automatically on the new system.
Yes. And
That's
we
when
had to
I
figure
joined.
out how to train you guys. We had no idea what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucked.
I'm techie, so I was able to figure it out.
Oh, you must have loved that.
Poor Claire, who's trying to help me.
So I came on and we had Pampered Partner.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Pampered Partner Plus, which was
Excuse me.
it was different. And then I had to learn the new web-based. I mean, it was like, I'm not techie. All right, who else has some questions? Did I bore you? Did I stun you?
No, dude, I've been taking tons of notes. This has been amazing.
No, it was really helpful.
So Carolyn, here's a scenario that I get a lot, and I would love to know how you respond to it. When I'm talking to a host about their wish list, I very often get, a response of, well, I'm not really sure. I really just want to look through the catalog first. So, maybe they have that one big thing on the wish list, but how do you respond in that situation? Do you let them have the catalog and come back to the conversation later, or do you?
Oh yeah. I'll get the catalog to them. I'll get it in the mail the next day, and I'll send them to the website immediately. I'll say, well, here, go to the website and start putting together your wish list, and you can message it to me.
Do you have them use
as
the
long
wish
as
list
you
feature?
have? Some do, some don't. I'm not very good with the wish list feature. I'm not nearly as techie as you, Rachel. So I'm pen and paper, and actually I'm pencil. I'm pencil girl.
Oh, I am a pencil girl. I like my pencils, not my pens.
This is my quarantine pencil. Do you see the size of this thing?
That's adorable.
No.
This is a regular pencil.
Well,
I
they
would
make
have.
McDonald's.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
So
very
I
proud
just-
of this little pencil.
I did use the wish list feature this week in a party, and it was really kind of cool because I was able to take her wish list and just turn it into her order.
Yes, it is very
And
nice.
that was a great feature. I was like, oh, I like this. So that worked out really, really well. So I am definitely going to be using that more.
And how long have you been in business, Lynn?
I started in April, 5 months.
Okay, so 5 months. So I've been in business 17 times 2 is 30 something times longer than you. I don't know how to do that. I have no idea what you just said. I know you said you turn the wish list into your order, and I'm going,
It's so nice. You could just click the button.
Yeah, just go to her wish list and there's a little button. in there
Lynn's
that
going
you
to do the next training.
click.
Lynn's going to have to train me next.
She can teach you.
You know,
the wish list.
it's important to always be willing to admit you don't know what you don't know,
Mhm.
and be willing to learn, because there's one that I don't know.
Right.
So to my team members who are on this call, I'm going to find out how to do that. And I'm going to make a little video for you guys. I'm going to teach you guys.
So proud of you.
I'll be like, I just learned this 17 years into the business, but I got it now.
Well,
We
to
are
be fair,
all works
it's not
in
a
progress.
17-year-old piece of technology, so you don't have to be that hard on yourself.
Right, exactly.
There was some debate between should you go wish list or registry. Is
Oh, no,
Registry
it's-
is for weddings.
right.
the way? Okay.
Registry
Wish
is for
list
weddings.
the host.
Or baby shower, or housewarming,
Yeah.
or birthday wish list.
Registry is like the Bed Bath & Beyond registry. It's Macy's registry. It's where they register for what they want and their friends can buy from it.
So I have kind of a host question. I have two hosts this month that have jumped into the party way too early and they didn't listen to me as to when I said to send out the invites, and they started a week earlier than I told them.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Their parties
Don't open the
blow
party that far in
and it
advance.
hasn't started.
I do not even put my host in the group. So my parties run Wednesday to Tuesday,
Okay.
Sunday night, late, like 9:00 p.m. Sunday night. That's when I open up, like I'll create it during the weekend. 9:00 Sunday night, like right before we jumped on here, that's when I send a link to my hosts. And I say, Rachel, are you ready? Here's your party link. Today, you're going to jump in and you're going to start sending out these messages. Copy and paste this message. Start sending this out to everybody tonight. So that's on Sunday night and Monday throughout the day. I have her send out those messages.
Okay.
Monday evening, I say, now you can click the button and start inviting people that way. And then on Tuesday, now you can send out the circling back messages. And then on Wednesday, we start posts.
Okay.
On Monday and Tuesday, if a lot of people join right away, I have a couple of random posts I'll throw in there, and they're what we call engagement posts. Just,
Right.
you know, the
That's
getting
what
to
I've
know
been
each other
doing.
posts, the warm-up posts.
Right.
But no, I would never add a host far in advance.
Okay.
Too far in advance.
Yeah, it really backfired this month. I shouldn't say backfired because the parties are doing well. I just had to be more engaged earlier than I expected.
It caught
And
you
you
off
don't want to have
guard.
to drag on so long.
Yeah, it took me off guard, and it's
Yeah.
taken up a lot of time that I would want it to. So, but
Well, I mean, the
it
other thing you could
could be
do,
worse.
Lynn, the other
I'm
thing
sorry.
you could do is if if people are already in there and they're like ready to go and your hosts are doing their job, especially if you're using like Post My Party or SynthShare or something, you could always just talk to
Right.
the host and say, should we just start it 2 days early since people are already there? Like you could always do that. It throws off your host coaching a little bit throughout the week,
Yeah,
but
I know.
instead of people waiting around those extra couple of days, you could just dive in. It's an option.
Well, the one good thing that I've gotten is a lot of conversation, this back and forth that Carolyn's talking about. We've kept that going, and the conversation and the interaction has been amazing in this party. Like I am blown away by it. So it's good, but I was like, all right, I got to get a better control on this. So it helped. Everything she said helped. Little tweaks.
You know, it's always the littlest tweaks that make the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well,
Okay, guys, what other questions do you have for her? Rattle her brain while we're here, while we've got her.
So the shows are actually running 5 days, not 7, is what you're saying?
So my shows, I'm terrible with numbers.
So if you're
It's Wednesday to Tuesday. So I start the post on Wednesday. My final post is Tuesday night. So 9:00 Wednesday morning to 9:00 Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday are, well, like Monday and Tuesday, if there are people in the group, because remember I have her add people Sunday night. Monday and Tuesday, I may post once or twice if we have a good number of people in the group. Wednesday and Thursday are more warm-up posts, the housekeeping posts, what the free gift is, what the recruiting special is, how to get points, when your credit card is going to be charged, who I am, who are you, a couple of engagement posts, one each
Doing as
day.
our pre-party, Pauline. What we would
Yeah, that's the pre-party stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's totally pre-party stuff. And then the product posts run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, technically it's a 5-day show.
okay.
yeah, my shows are running. I start on Thursday and I end on, technically I end Tuesday, but Tuesday is my cleanup day. So I'm really done posting by Monday. So, and then, I do pre-post a day or two before too. So yeah, I've done one really long party. To me, really long was over a week, and it was just boring. It was just horrible. And I felt like
It
I
gets
didn't get
old, it
enough
gets
orders
stale.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I just said, no, these 5-day parties are to me the best.
Mhm.
Okay,
I agree.
good. Thank you. Okay.
Good questions. Anybody else have any questions for her?
Carolyn, you have been amazing.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you. I'm not amazing. I didn't invent any of this myself. This is all stuff that I've learned from other people and just tweaked it to work for me.
Right.
I
but
have not had an original I've had one original thought in all 17 years of this business, and I'm going to share it with you guys because I'm really, really proud of it. I came up with this all by myself last week. It's the only thing I've ever come up with on my own. On the fly. Dorinda, you know what this is because I posted on the team page. I was so excited about it. I had a host when I was trying to book a show. She was like, well, everybody's been to so many Pampered Chef shows lately. And like right off the cuff, I went, yeah, and how many times people go to Target each week?
That's
Target
good.
doesn't give you recipes. Target doesn't teach you fun kitchen hacks. I was so impressed with myself.
That was awesome.
Right? That's my only original thought ever. So I'm sharing it with everybody because I am just so pleased with myself.
So,
love
okay,
that.
so I'm going to bring up this question I just got tonight. I'm trying to book a party off a party, and the response I've gotten from 2 people already is, oh, I don't really do parties. I'm like, it's not me. What's my comeback?
So I've had people say that to me. It's either I don't do parties or I never have any success at these parties. And I say that's because you haven't done a party with me. You may have done Pampered Chef parties. Every Pampered Chef party is different based on the consultants. You haven't worked with me. I have a history of success. And I'll tell them, I'll get cocky. Listen, I've been doing this for 17 years. I don't do unsuccessful parties. Now, honestly, yeah, like 1 in every 10 stinks, like tanks. We're human. It happens. I don't tell them that. I have a history of successful parties. If you follow the tips that I give you, I promise you it's going to be successful. I had a girl this summer who, earlier this summer, she placed an order on a show and she checked all the boxes. I want to book, I want to become a consultant, she just checked them all. So I posted on the party page, thank you, so what was her name, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa, for placing an order on whoever's Colleen's show. I'm so excited that you're hosting the next party through your party. So-and-so is going to get a 50% off item. I'm going to send you a private message right now so we can get your party set up. I didn't realize that she checked all those things accidentally. I messaged her and she's like, wait, what? Huh? And I said, well, you checked off the box that said you want to host a party. And I screenshot it to her. She goes, I think that was an accident. And I was like, oh, what a bummer. Gosh, really was looking forward to party with you. Want to go for it anyway? And she was like, I never have any success at these things. And that's when I said, that's because you haven't had a party with me. And, I went into the whole thing. I want to prove you wrong. I want to prove you wrong. She's like, yeah, good luck with that. And we start kind of sassing back and forth with each other. And I said, if you promise me that you will follow all of my instructions to a T, I promise you, we're going to have a $1,000 party. And she was like, fine, we'll go for it. And I said, I'm really, really looking forward to saying I told you so. She goes, you know what? I'm looking forward to you telling me I told you so too. Let's see what happens. We did it. Within, I think the first 2 pre-party days, she was already at $500. So I sent her a little GIF. I said, is it too soon for me to say? And then I sent her a GIF that said, I told you so. And she was like, oh God. She ended up with a $1,200 show. And, I said, would you please post to the party and tell your friends how this all started? So we got a couple of bookings off her party too. Sometimes it's just a matter of being confident. Even when you're not feeling confident, act confident. People want to do business with, and if you just had a string of really, really bad shows with non-interactive hosts and like your self-esteem is in the toilet, that's when you want to wash your face, put your hair in a really tight bun because you feel really tough when it's pulled back really tight, put on your big girl panties and act like you rock the world. Listen here, you've never had a party with me. Give it a try. I promise you. You do what I teach you to do, we're going to rock this party. You follow every step I give you, we're going to rock this party. Because you guys, if they do everything you tell them, there's no way to have an unsuccessful party. Invite 150 people. Invite them in 3 different ways. Engage in the posts. Comment in the form of questions. Keep the conversations going. Have a wish list so you have something motivating you. People are going to order. You're going to have success. It's a matter of getting your host on board with you. That's all that matters. Like I said, last week I had 4 hosts in a block party. 3 of them had $1,000. Actually, it was $1,000, $1,000, $1,200. And then 1 host had $50 in sales. And I shared that with the other 3 hosts. I said, I just want you to know Of the 4 hosts that were in this party, these were the total sales. And I hope you understand why your sales were what they were, because you brought your A game, so-and-so did not. Simple as that. And I didn't name, I didn't tell the hosts which one sucked. And I didn't have this conversation with the sucky host because she was not paying attention anyway.
Right.
But I wanted the good hosts to know, because they're the ones who got bookings. So today I did a host coaching call, which I've stopped calling host coaching calls, by the way. So with my team, I'll refer to them as a host coaching call because you guys know what that means. To my customers, I'll say we're going to do a party planning call. So today I did the party planning call with Yesenia. Yesenia booked off of Pam's party. Pam was the 1,200 out of those 4 shows. And when I got on the phone with Yesenia, we spent 15 minutes just getting to know each other, laughing. We have kids the same age, just bantering and becoming buddies. And when I started to do the host coaching, she's like, yeah, Pam told me about that. Yeah, Pam told me to do that too. Yep, Pam said as long as I did this and that, like you said, I would have a successful party. Because after it was all over, I told Pam why her party was as successful as it was. I said, because you did this, Pam. You commented in the form of questions. You tagged your friends. You posted pictures every time you were cooking with Pampered Chef stuff. You rocked this. When it came time, when she was chit-chatting with Yesenia, oh, Yesenia, don't forget to do this and this and this. So she's now backing up and reinforcing my host coaching. So now I'm not only partnering with my new host, my past host is helping me to partner with my new host. So now we're a team of 3 because Pam wants Yesenia to have a successful show because Pam wants her half price item at Yesenia's party.
Right.
It all comes back to the same thing. Relationships. That's all it is.
I have a quick question about Facebook algorithm because I know a little bit about it, and I'm wondering, when you tell them to invite from the invite button, don't they have to be careful not to invite too many, or how do you tell them that? Or
So I tell them to send out those copy and paste messages. I say send out 25 via Messenger, then switch and text the next 25. Then come back and send another 25 via Messenger, then text another 25. And then when it comes time to click the invite button, invite about 20 to 25 at a time, go brush your teeth. Come back, invite another 20 to 25, go wash your face. 20 to 25, go fold the laundry. For my party that I'm a host of right now with the eyelashes, and by the way, if anybody wants eyelashes, let me know, I'll invite you to the damn party. Apparently she has other things too, I just don't know what they are, or what they cost, or any of it, or what I get.
That's funny.
Join the party. We can, you know what? Seriously, join the party because we can all learn something. Even if you don't want to buy it, just we're all learning something from it. When I started inviting people, for some reason, Facebook does not really let me invite people through the clicky button. And I think it's because I have too many Facebook friends. It just spins and spins and spins. So I switched to new Facebook yesterday, and it's letting me do it on new Facebook, but it's already locked me up twice. I sent out about 50 and it said, we're restricting you. So yeah, 20 to 25 at a time, and then take a breather.
Okay.
All right, we have
I've been
chat.
quick question. I make my host an admin in their party group. Is that what you do?
I don't, only because somebody who's very, very techie told me if you make them an admin, it messes with the algorithm. I don't know the validity of that statement. I don't know, so I don't make my hosts an admin. And I also don't make my hosts an admin because once you have 50 guests in a party, you have access to the party insight, or to the group insights. I like to look at those group insights so I can see if my host is truly participating enough. I also use the group insights to pick my winners and stuff. But when I'm doing block parties, it helps for me to be able to see, I know that the 4 most active people I should see on that list is my 4 hosts. And if it's not, I know which ones to talk to.
Carolyn, what do you mean
my
by
son corrected my grammar.
What do you mean by block party?
A block party, I put 4 hosts in one group.
You
So
do?
I do.
Wow.
I bounce back and forth. The first week of the month, I'll do block parties. The second week of the month, I'll do regular. Third week of the month, I bounce back and forth because I do struggle with bookings on block parties. I find it much easier to get bookings when it's an individual host. And for some reason, when it's a block party, I don't get as many bookings. So I do bounce back and forth. I see a question in the chat from Stephanie.
Yes.
I always feel like I overwhelm the host with coaching and they don't do anything. I break it into tasks, but it's like they don't give much. Is this just my string of poor hosts? Yes, that's not you, Stephanie. That's your poor host. Because if we don't break it into small bites, they're going to be overwhelmed. So I do the same thing. I break it into small bites. I give them one task at a time. If you're having poor hosts, it's because your hosts are not checked in. They're not committed. They haven't bought in to the party, which means that you don't know their wish list. You don't know what's driving them. It goes back to finding out why. Why did they host? And if they're just hosting to do you a favor, they're not doing you a favor unless they're following every step you give them. So if they want to host as a favor to you, then you need to say to them, if you're hosting as a favor to me, if you're like new in the business and your family and friends are hosting for you, if you're hosting as a favor to me, you need to follow every step I give you. Otherwise, you're not doing me a favor. You're just taking up my time and wasting my time. And that's not helping me. So if you truly want to help me, I need you to be a good listener and do everything I tell you to do. Any more questions?
No. I have to go post on a party, so I have to leave. So sorry, guys.
Thank you
went
for
over
being
by
here.
30
You had some
minutes anyway.
great questions. So thank you, Lynn, for jumping on.
Yeah, thanks for the time, guys, and the training was amazing. Thank you.
I'm glad it was helpful. Take care, you guys. Rachel, when the recording is up, you'll send it to me?
I absolutely will. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I hope it was helpful for everyone.
I took like 4 pages of notes.
and Jackie or Rachel's team, if any of you have questions, take them to Rachel and she'll bring them to me and I'll get you guys the answers.
Absolutely.
Jackie and Dorinda and Tracy, thank you for joining us tonight from my team.
Yeah, thank you guys for jumping on. All right.
Thank you for allowing me to invite my team too, Rachel. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Of course. Might as well, right? Like we're all jumping on Zoom anyway. More the merrier.
We're all in this together.
Very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. You all have a great evening.
Everybody.
Bye.